This is my son, Jesse. If I were to describe him in one word, it would be disappointment. I mean, look at him. He's crawling around the dirt for God's sake. And oh, what's he doing? Did he just he just sniffed the dirt. Oh God, now he's eating it. But even I've despised him and everything that he stands for, like the alimony, I want him to have a bright future, one where he won't end up dead from skin cancer, or dead after walking blindly into sewer drain thanks to cataracts. A future where he can have his own son to be disappointed in. And in order to ensure he can make his own dreams come true, we as a whole need to act. Act against what, you may ask? The dismal hole in the ozone layer. Just like mine after Taco Bell, it just keeps getting bigger. And we are doing nothing to stop it. We all need to work together and stop acting in ways that hurt the ozone layer. That's why in this video, we will be describing the problems the hole presents, what is causing it to enlarge, and how to fix it.
The ozone layer helps weaken the UV radiation that the sun produces that would otherwise harm the inhabitants of Earth. The ozone hole presents many issues to most living things on Earth and bestows many problems such as skin cancer, cataracts, DNA damage, and weakened immune systems. It's estimated that the likelihood of being affected by skin cancer rises by a factor of 2% for every 1% of depletion in the ozone layer.
That's unfortunate for you.
In a hypothetical situation where the ozone hole is bigger than an average man's after bunking with Jamal, we are looking at a race of humans barely clinging on to life. Take a look at this fool, for example. His eyes are emptier than a Chinese stomach in 1907. His immune system is weaker than the rubber my dad wore. And his DNA is more damaged than my parents' marriage. This man is the future of humankind if nothing is done to prevent the hole. This hole doesn't just affect human beings, though. No, this issue spans far wider than just us, hurting many parts of life, from conscious beings to crops.
Now, you may be thinking,
Oh no!
and that is an appropriate response considering what we just told you. But there's no point in me just telling you the worst part, because we're not the news, so we don't profit off of that. Instead, we will now tell you who and what is to blame for this, as is my God-given job as a future politician. There's a few big contributors to this. Most of them are out of your control as an everyday civilian, but not all are entirely out of your control. By far, the largest of these hole makers would have to be manufactured chemicals. Now, there's a lot of chemicals being manufactured for all types of purposes, from dinos to donkeys, but the most dangerous kind to our ozone layer are CFCs and HCFCs. These here murderous chemicals are used in everyday products, such as
Refrigerator, air conditioner, aerosol propellant, and my personal favorite, fire extinguishers.
CFCs and HCFCs are used to produce these appliances, as evident by the manufactured part of manufactured chemicals. Even if these bad boys take the top spot, that doesn't mean there's no one fighting for second place. Like a blind, deaf, and numb dominatrix, the top may be lonely, but the battle still rages on below. But who are our contestants? Well, that would be... In this corner, weighing in at 1.76 billion tons of CO2 emissions in 2021 alone, forcing the firefighters to rely on aerosol to fight it, slowing down the recovery of the ozone layer. Wildfires! Ooh, yeah, baby, it's open rainbow. Known for vying for first place when he goes unregulated, he creates the natural enemy of the ozone layer, chlorine oxide. It's the one, the only, the unregulated rocket launches. Now, we're not going to tell you to stop buying fire extinguishers or fridges or to go protest NASA's next rocket launch, because they're already working on ways to launch without producing so many dangerous gases and chemicals. Instead, if you want to help the ozone layer heal, you should do what environmentalists have been telling people to do for years now. Things that not only help the ozone layer's recovery, but also benefit the people around you. Take the bus. Bike to your destination.
Run.
When you choose to do options like these, not only are they healthier for both you and the people around you, but it also helps the ozone layer because you're not polluting as much as you would if you drove everywhere. I know that I personally like to walk as much as possible, whether it be to get somewhere or just to clear my head. Most of the ideas I came up with here were the product of those walks. If you're not satisfied with just less emissions from cars, or simply are unable to due to certain circumstances, then consider buying local. Not only is it healthier for you and more fresh than the usual big grocery store fruit, but it cuts down on carbon emissions from transportation. So to fix the problem, we simply need to live healthier and take better care of ourselves. This will help both the planet and us in living longer, stronger, better lives. Thank you.